Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a bit of a land update here. Yet again, how not to manage your land in Splinterlands. And I'm going to start by quickly showing a couple of changes that have happened since my last video. I have added a few more plots because I didn't have enough to manage, it would seem. So region 85, my main region here. I spoke through Discord contacted one of the main owners in 85 who was looking to sell on 4 legendary plots, and I decided wouldn't it be a good idea to buy all 4 of them and put myself under more pressure. So we have added 4 magical legendary plots. We have 3 of them. We're already set up for research, and we're just continuing them in research, but we decided that I would put one of them into wood, and I converted 4 other rare plots that we're all doing research, and I'm converting them back to doing basic resources. A quick look at this chart up here, my region chart, will easily display for you why I need to do this. I'm not producing enough grain for all my plots. I'm not producing enough wood, enough stone, or enough iron. So I'm going to be making a few changes to these plots. Obviously, because I'm going to be making some changes, I'm going to be harvesting everything as well. So you can have a quick look at how my region is doing, or how my how my plots in this region are doing, I should say. So all of these were turned over yesterday. So they were converted from doing research back into doing wood, or in the case of the 5th one here, to doing stone. And when you're doing that kind of a conversion, it only takes 24 hours to turn the plot from doing one thing to doing something else. So I converted them from doing research into building a logging camp. And then to feed the workers, it only costs 500 grain. So if you haven't done this before, this is different to how it normally goes when you're building a construction site like a logging camp. Typically you would have to feed your workers maybe 15,000 grain. So we're going to convert each of these over. Get the work site ready. And since the last video, I've also opened some more cards, so I've got a couple of new workers that I want to place onto some of my land plots. So I'll let you see what I'm doing there as well. Splinterlands have also made some changes to the way workers operate on land now. They don't have to be locked onto the sites anymore. And I'll show you what that means now in a second. So we're just going to quickly feed all these workers, get these plots up and running again. Work site, another wood ready. And finally a stone plot. So anyway, I was taking a look at my legendary plots here earlier and trying to identify where my production power was a little low. So you can see this plot, for example, on a legendary plot, I've some workers only producing 2,000 production points. This one down here as well. So I wanted to have a look and see if I had any workers that could replace them. Over here I have a worker here who is a blue creature, so they can go on to one of my tundras easily enough, and that's 10,000 production points. You can see here all of my cards that are on land. These are all, this blue symbol tells us that they're staked on land. I'm unlocking all of them, One of the changes made by Splinterlands now is that when you put creatures onto land, they'll no longer be locked. So this Renova, for example, was only put onto land since the update. So she's not locked onto the land. There'll still be a 3-day period when I take her off the land where she can't be used, but there won't be an unlocking period as well. So they've gotten rid of this locking period. However, if you've got creatures that have been on land since before the update, they will have to be unlocked. Now you can unlock them without removing them, so it's easy to do, and it's quick to do it here on Peak Monsters. You can multi-select all the creatures you want, and once you select multiple creatures, you'll have an option then to unlock them in mass. So you don't need to do it in the main Splinterlands land page. You can do them in mass here. So I've also got a dragon creature here with 15,000 production points. I want to get them up and running as well on one of my land plots. So coming back to here. So I'm going to sort these by rarity. Obviously the higher the rarity, the more important it is that I get the better workers on there. So this stone plot is where I want to get that 15,000 production point worker working. So before I make any changes, because obviously these would be significant changes, I'm going to have to harvest everything. Because of the way I've been running my land, which isn't an optimal way of doing it, by the time I come to claim everything, I'm probably going to run out of various resources. I won't run out of wood. Plenty of wood, I think. You'll see here, even after I make my claim here for stone, I'm still not going to have enough to claim to make all of these claims for my research, my SPS, and my aura. And I have run out of grain, so I'm still going to need 34, 46, 54, 55,000, so time to add an extra 50,000, which I think we can get from the wood. So region 85 into region 85. So it's going to cost me 20,000 wood to get 50,000 grain. That is not a great deal because wood is produced at a quarter of the rate that grain is created at. So meaning for each production point you would typically create 4 grain for every 1 wood. So wood is not as valuable as the grain is. However, it's needed, so I'll do it nonetheless. Okay, we're still working on our research. I'm still relatively new to land, so the total research that I've accumulated in land is still well below 20,000. That's why I've only got a single aura plot at the moment. Hoping to get a second one online soon. Okay, so we're going to be short another 1,600 for the grain. So let's get some more grain. All of my buying and selling is good for people who are in the various liquidity pools. Not so good for me. Looks like we're short nearly 1,400 stone, and about 130 iron will do us. So let's see if we can get it from our wood. Yes, we still got plenty of wood here. 388, another 100, and we'll just call it 130 iron. Again, we'll hopefully get it from our wood. You can see the exchange rate there again. 1600 wood to get only 130 iron. Right. We'll claim our aura. Okay, so we now have 4,700 research, so I still need another just over 5,000 research before I can open a second aura lab. I think I'm done with creating midnight potions, so I'm going to start saving this for whatever the team has in store for us next. Okay, so now to make just a couple of changes to some of our land plots. So we have a legendary land now creating wood for us, and you can see here I'm now making more than enough wood per hour to meet the requirements. So I'm going to try to ramp up the production on this wood a little bit more in order to have plenty of wood to be able to continue selling into grain. You can see how much the grain has gone up by now. I need nearly 6,500 grain per hour, but I'm only producing 3,000. I don't really have any option except to create other resources to sell into grain. With the iron, I'm creating 2/3 of what I need, and with the stone, a bit more than 2/3 of what I need. So we're going to ramp up the wood production a little bit, see if we have some better creatures. So this guy is the weakest worker that I currently have. And this Owlkin is going to replace him, so we're going to go from 4,000 to 22,000 production. It's going to get me an extra 90 wood per hour, so that is a very beneficial change for me. No additional energy required, which is good. This will do a forced harvest, but since we've done a full harvest, we don't care about any of those warnings for forced harvests. The next change we were going to make was to our stone plot. We want to increase the production on our stone plot. Our stone plot's got pretty good workers as it is, but we can do better. It looks to me like our lowest producing worker is in fact another black foil. So I guess you're coming off. And this one is going on. This is going to increase my stone production by 34 per hour. So that's going to be a significant change there as well. Let's save those changes. And now we want to try to improve one of our iron plots. And I identified which one. Well, let's go ahead and take a little look. Want to take off? Yes. These guys are not good enough for what I want. They're max level gold commons, but I believe we have someone that can do the job better. Okay, our conclave tracker is going on here. This is going to improve. It's not a huge amount, but it is some amount. I'm going to have a quick look at peak monsters here, and have a quick look at my rare iron plots. The lowest production looks like it's this one. I would be better off replacing one of these workers on. Okay, so it's plot number 41 in tract 6. So I'm going to come back out of this and not save that. Plot 41, tract 6. We're going to replace one of these workers instead. It's not my imagination, they are exactly the same. This one is only doing 11,000. Okay, out you come. Conclave tracker goes in and confirm. Now I'm just going to refresh this. And see if I'm missing anybody. No, it looks like everyone is assigned to land. They're unstaking from the land and unlocking from the land. Jodin belongs on my deck. We have an Insidious Warlock that we can try to find a place. So where would a Death Monster go? A Death Monster would be very happy to go into a swamp here producing wood. So let's take a look at our swamps. Obviously we don't need to click that. Lowest production cost, or lowest production points, 8,500, is in this plot 719. And we have some pretty weak workers here. These are rare cards, but they're only 7 BCX, so we can definitely replace this guy. And we will get an Insidious Warlock on there. And then we have a Soul Strangler that could replace this girl. I think that will do just fine then for our changes today. Oh, we actually have another Insidious Warlock. Find him a spot somewhere else. Okay guys, so that's the updates that I've made to my land. Go back here. You'll be able to see where we're at now. So we finally have one resource that's in the green, so to speak. We're producing over 1,000 wood per hour, and we only need 786 per hour. So finally I'm going to have a surplus of something every week. The only reason I had a surplus was because I claimed my castle there recently, and there's a lot of wood plots in my region. So when I claimed the castle and the keep, I did pick up quite a bit of wood. So in combination with the fact I'm now producing 223 wood per hour, more than I need, I should have no problem in the future making my claims and slowly getting to a point where I won't be advertising how not to run your land, how to manage your land. I'll hopefully get better at managing it. We still do want to get a second aura plot, so I am still concentrating. I've got 3 legendary lands here concentrating on research, and that's going to continue until such time as I get another 10,000 research. Once I get that 10,000 research, I'm going to convert one of these research plots into a second aura plot, and then I'll have to make a decision on how much more research I want to get. Do I want to keep researching towards the secret of Pretoria? Obviously, people have been doing this now for quite some time, and there's people who have built up millions of research. But building up your research obviously has a cost to it. You're paying grain, wood, stone, iron to create research. I don't obviously see what the benefits are for me. So these may get converted over to more wood plots. You can see because of the lands, tundras and forests, I'm going to have a lot of legendary land that can produce a lot of wood, but that's okay. I'll produce whatever resource I can and I'll sell it into the other resources as required. But again, if anyone has any feedback on why I should or shouldn't continue to produce research, since it's not a commodity that I can sell, it's just something that costs, and I don't currently see what the benefit is, but I'm sure there will be more benefits. Right now we're spending or using our research to create aura labs. Who knows what else is going to be in the future, so I would imagine continuing the research will probably have some benefits, or at least I think I'll regret it if I was to stop it. I'm going to continue creating some SPS. This is my way of taking some profits from my land, I suppose. It's this SPS comes out and gets staked, and that's I don't take anything else out at the moment, or try to take anything else. I keep putting money into the into my land or into the game. So yeah, so that's where we're at the moment. You can see here, if I list this by work sites, just a 1 aura, which is legendary, a few grain, mixtures of common and epic, 3 rares, very few planes available for me. I bought what I could. There's no grain plots available in region 85, which is why I have a lot of grain plots in other regions, but you've seen in previous videos how it has an expense, nearly 10% fee every time you transport grain from one region to another region. I do have reasonably good access to iron plots. So we got 4 rare, 5 common. The research in the SPS you've seen. Stone plots, there's lots of hills in region 85. So I've got a number for 5 common. We have an epic stone, and then it looks like 5 more rare stone plots. So we've got good access to stone. I'd imagine the only reason I'm not producing enough stone is the strength of the cards, the strength of the creatures that are on these lands. So I will be looking at these rare stone plots next in order to try get the production points up a lot higher on these ones. For wood, that seems to be the resource I have access to the most. So you can see I have a lot of wood plots, including a legendary wood plot. Not constructed. Access to more wood here in the swamps. There is a plains here, which could be it. Unfortunately, it's an occupied plains. So I was constructing an SPS mine here, and I turned it off in order to save the DEC. I decided it wasn't worth it. So these take a long time to develop. But you can see here lots of hills. So this is all stone plots. So I have access to a lot of stone plots. More stone, and we have 1 mountain down the end. I'm still creating a couple of SPS, but these may just get cancelled. These take well over a month to complete. This is 13 days, and I think I started it. Well, you can see there I'm 3/4 of the way there, so I probably started this nearly a month ago when I first started managing my land. So maybe shouldn't have even bothered there, and it being a plains, maybe I should have gone for grain. So at this point I'll probably just let it finish, and then hopefully I can just switch it over to grain in 24 hours. If I stop it, I'd imagine I'll have to start from scratch again, creating a grain plot. So anyway guys, I can't think of anything else to show you at this point. that's where my land is finishing at. If I go back to the overview, you can see I have a total of 73 active plots out of the 114 that I currently own. And yeah, I've gone a bit mad recently, spending on legendary lands. I don't think I'll be doing that again or adding any further high cost lands, not until I get everything running efficiently. You can see I'm also missing DEC from a number of these lands. So hopefully next time I check in witches, there's less red. But thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, I'd appreciate you hitting the like and subscribe button. And thanks very much for watching. Sláinte.